long waiting times, bad attitude, and disorganised crew. Some of the online comments by irate netizens about service standards in Singapore raise the question that service staff here really cannot make it. As part of Razor TV's feature on student-run restaurants, we spent an afternoon with student service staff at Temasek Polytechnic's The Top Table. We speak to diners as well to get their take on the varying service standards in Singapore.
Service in Singapore is very varied. If you go to the high-end places, the people are very well trained and they are able to provide very good services. But for many of the other places, they leave a lot to be desired.
I'm not really a fan of the service standards in Singapore because they're very slipshod. Yeah, they do things very quick, but they don't serve it with a smile. Yeah.
When I visit restaurants, I usually look out for the quality of food rather than the service.
So does service really matter to you if that's the case?
Not really, like secondary.
Actually, the service in Singapore is not very, to me it's not very good, but I actually prefer foreigners staff because they're actually more friendly and they actually like the initiative to talk to you, how do you feel about the food, etc.
Singapore is trying to really do its best to deliver service to all the tourists that are coming to Singapore, and we do fall short in some areas. Aside from some of the basic restaurant skills, I think an important factor that's lacking is that sense of hospitality, that sense of welcome, and the ability for staff to articulate that kind of welcome, you know.
Good service, most of them will use empathy. Like for example, if the restaurant is too cold, they will come over and take initiative and ask, do you need a cup of warm water? Or this bad service, they just like, when it's served, they just put it down and sometimes they just put the wrong order and then just walk away. When you want to signal for their help, but they just kind of ignore you kind.
The negative experiences we've had tend to be over the phone. So when you call for service, ask for things, the people who take your call sometimes can be curt, rude, and they don't provide you what you want. Perhaps we are not brought up to be service oriented. I tend to find that Singaporeans, they are nice to their family and friends, but they may not be so nice to strangers or people that they don't know.
It's almost as if some of our locals are afraid to engage guests or to speak to guests. So that also puts a barrier in front and makes us appear a little bit less hospitable. So over here at the Temasek Culinary Academy and in TP, we're trying to do our best to raise that service standard a little bit more. We are fortunate that we have a training environment where we simulate real-life restaurant experiences and cafe experiences. And so this is the time where we tell our students, you know, now's the time for you to practice and to train when you engage customers to be as hospitable as possible. And we give them the skills, we give them the techniques, and give them the opportunity to practice this.
Perhaps all is not lost as aspiring service staff undergo 6 sessions of intense training at the Top Table, a formal dining establishment run by Temasek Polytechnic students.
I think what constitutes to good service is definitely the ability to carry yourself very well. Your verbiage must be good. You must have good food knowledge. Definitely having the willingness to learn. You are representing the restaurant. You're the first person to be having contact with your guests. So you should have food knowledge. Any questions that they ask you, you can explain to them. Like knowledge on what is formal dining, how do you set your table, how do you clear your table, what's the service sequence and all. Good service is definitely when the person is able to let you feel like the restaurant is the right place for you to dine at.
These students, who had earlier completed 3 weeks of training at the Academy's quick service and more casual restaurant Sugarloaf, will have the chance to up their game and play different roles in front of house operations of the Top Table.
You get to interact a lot with your guests, you get to move around and like see what is happening on the restaurant, because when you're playing that role, like you know that the responsibility is on you, but like you also have your teammates to help you along, and like it's very enjoyable. It's a very enjoyable experience, yeah.
Check out our other clip to find out more about the Top Table's student servers. Also, stay tuned. We will be serving up another episode on student-run restaurants in Singapore.